Crossworlds at its core is, as you'd expect, a fun-focused kart racer to be. You pick your character and vehicle, cars and hoverboards, to determine your basic stats, such as how strong you are, your top speed, acceleration and all the rest, and then duke it out over a Grand Prix of 4 races against 11 other racers. Speed and good racing line only goes so far, with there rarely being more than a few seconds between power-up attacks or on-course obstacles. So far, so kart racer, but one that's even more unrelenting than the norm with its power-up fueled carnage. More options to shape your vehicle come from purchasable items, using the easily obtained in-game currency that can be equipped in the customization menu, plus a load of perk-like gadgets that give you stat boosts or special abilities. While these gadgets are simple at first and your options are limited, you'll quickly unlock more and be able to equip extra in each race, making them more useful than they initially appear to be. While I found a gadget that gets you going quicker after falling off the track to be quite useful as I was learning the tracks, I ended up focusing more on stat boosts and didn't tinker too much once I had a set I was happy with. Classic karting is the core driving style, complete with power sliding, boosts, slipstreaming and more, but at points you'll also transform into planes and boats. Planes are fine as brief moments of respite from the more frenetic, grounded racing, but the boat sections are exceedingly flat in comparison. A tweaked boost mechanic while on water sees your craft also hop into the air, which does open up some shortcuts when used correctly, but compared to Mario Kart World's boat sections, this is less dynamic and is almost devoid of thrills. The Crossworlds from the title, then, might be the game's headline feature, but while racing it doesn't really add all that much to the experience. For the second lap of each 3-lap race, the leader gets to choose if they want themselves and the entire pack to be teleported, via a large golden ring, to either a specific Crossworlds track or a random track, in a left or right choice not dissimilar to the branching course selection in Outrun. There's no obvious benefit to the leader here, and the teleportation is handled in a rather unspectacular way, but it's a neat enough gimmick and the Crossworlds are enjoyably more on the novelty end of the course spectrum. The same mechanic is used in the final of the 4 Grand Prix races, with the 3 laps comprising the trio of courses you've raced up to that point, the course changing as you teleport at the end of each lap. I don't love repeating previous courses to end a Grand Prix, nor is the course swapping handled in a particularly unique way, so I found myself zoning out during many of these final races, which cost me a win on a handful of occasions. A rival system, which pits you against a foe for increased rewards, adds some extra spice, but once I'd won each of the Grand Prix, my interest quickly waned. It's all good fun though, with the chaos made more enjoyable when playing against real people, either online or in local 4-player split screen. Multiplayer isn't limited to Grand Prix either, with a slightly oversold race park offering a bunch of team-based events that twist the races. One, for example, gives you a speed boost for driving into one of your teammates, another gives bonus points for rings collected, and another only includes the heavy power-ups. Rewards can be earned for performances against the other teams, but this is still essentially a set of custom game modes. While I'm not bowled over by the Grand Prix mode, which, to be clear, is the key offering here, there's no open world to explore or story mode, there is a time trial mode complete with ghost racing against the world's best players. I'm a sucker for these modes, and Crossworlds offers a very tidy handling model that only really comes clearly into view when you aren't swearing endlessly due to being knocked off your stride. I appreciate that purely racing for the fastest times isn't for everyone, and highly likely not a reason most people care about kart races, but there's a lot to learn here if you are that way inclined. Forget about the slower race speeds though, as they can feel like you're driving through treacle. Sonic Speed, the third option in most of the modes, and Supersonic Speed are your only choices in Time Trial, which is fine as they are what I'd recommend you choose if you truly want to feel alive. Combine this speed with some high-level boost controls tied to drifts and tricks, circuit shortcuts and optimal racing lines, and you've got everything you'll need for a jolly good time. Hardcore Sonic fans may wish ill on my Sonic t-shirt for saying this, but I've always found the modern soundtracks to be wildly uneven. Sonic Racing Crossworlds features a broad selection of classic songs which run the gamut from annoyingly catchy pops to almost causing actual damage to my ears. This inelegant mix is true of the visuals too. The courses are big and bold, but details are rougher than I expected for a game releasing onto modern consoles in their 5th year on the market. Similarly, the aforementioned Crossworlds portal rings are presented with lower frame rates than the rest of the game runs at a lower resolution, and end up feeling hamstrung by needing to function on the now ancient Switch hardware. A small point perhaps, but I'm also not enamoured with the way all the crossover content with non-SEGA games is tied to a paid DLC. Pac Man, Minecraft and SpongeBob SquarePants are all announced, all tied to the Season Pass, races and tracks. Free content updates are coming from SEGA, but thus far that is only said to be new races, including Joker from Persona, Ichiban Kasuga from Yakuza, and Hatsune Miku, not SEGA owned, but SEGA has developed games using the character. There's not a shortage of tracks or races in the core game, but the crossover courses look to be some of the more visually interesting of the entire lot. How much you're gonna enjoy Sonic Racing Crossworlds really depends on what you want from an arcade racing game. If Mario Kart, let's say World, but all of them work, is Jaws, a refined and lauded take on the Shark Attack film, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is Under Paris, a more ludicrous entry into the game genre that pushes excess without a modicum of restraint. That comparison might feel odd given Mario Kart World is a rather joyous celebration of kart racing, but Crossworlds at times feels like you're playing a proper arcade game, strapped into the hydraulic moving seat, but also having to contend with the wheel being turned by an overly enthusiastic small child. A child that loves Sonic, and anyone who happens to be sporting a high fashion Sonic t-shirt. And there you go, that's Eurogamer's review of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Let me know in the comments if you're thinking of picking up this game yourself, and if you are playing it, how it compares to Mario Kart World. If you like this video, be sure to like it, and don't forget to subscribe to Eurogamer for new videos about video games almost every single day. Now, I'm going to go and continue playing as the icon Birdo in Mario Kart World, so I'll see you folks next time.
Now is a great time to score some incredible games through Humble Choice. Live now through to October 7th, you can grab WWE 2K25, Destiny 2 Legacy Collection, The Plucky Squire, Return to Monkey Island, and more. Whether you're building up your backlog or discovering something new, this is the perfect time to pick up these fan favourites. Plus, every purchase supports a good cause, with this month's featured charity being Team Rubicon. Get a curated mix of PC games every month, all for just £11.49 a month.